this Sunday is going to be my first professional game in my hometown.
Just come out and support the team. You know, we're looking for fans and building up this team.
Come out to the game this Sunday. It's at 5 p.m. We're here, the Fighting Irish. We're going to be up against them. It's the West versus the South in DC. It's our first home game. You know, lots of blood to spill.
Welcome and good afternoon to Cardinal Stadium at Catholic University. I am Preston Thompson alongside Roland Pratt here at Old Glory DC MLR's first ever exhibition rugby match.
What a beautiful day for some rugby. The first ever professional rugby match in the area. Great weather, a really active fan base, I should say. They've had a few drinks. Everybody's having a good time. We got some live music. Let's get ready to play some rugby.
Yeah, we've had a fantastic atmosphere so far. We've had fans continuing to pour in from the tailgating section, from the beer garden and the family area where the kids are at. The atmosphere here is just amazing, and both squads are really excited to get this game kicked off.
Yeah, it's properly electric. We've had a couple of really good curtain raise games that we've got to see some really good rugby already, but I think everybody now, you can see them pouring into the stands, eagerly awaiting the Old Glory's first ever team to hit the field.
And as sunny as it is, we still have a bit of wind, so it's going to be difficult for both teams to maintain the same level of aggression throughout the full 80 minutes with how humid it is. But then also that wind factor giving one team an advantage, so we'll see which side kicks off first.
I think it's going to be a very different game today. We have the players coming in right now.
Yes, we got them running in next to each other. We've got Old Glory in the white and Shannon RFC in the multi-toned blue as this raucous crowd welcomes on their home team, Old Glory DC.
What a momentous occasion.
A lot of these players that you're familiar with, they're representing their home region in front of some of their family and friends here in the stands.
So many of these guys were born and bred in the Mid-Atlantic area, and many more actually just very local, whether it be Northern Virginia, DC itself, or the just outskirts of Maryland, with a few others that have come from Pennsylvania or the other outlying areas. And so this is very much a local team, which I think everybody can be very proud of in the area.
It's probably a lot of players on Shannon's club, their first time here in the States. Let's see how they adjust to the weather conditions that we've got going.
They're going to feel this 88-degree weather.
And also we've got both teams' anthems, so we will be silent for the duration of both of these, Ireland and America's national anthem. And here is the U.S. anthem. Please stand at home.
And the singing of our national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars
Well, that was beautiful. Again, welcome to Cardinal Stadium at Catholic University. I'm Preston Thompson, joined by Roland Pratt. We are seconds away from kickoff from Old Glory DC's first ever exhibition match against Shannon RFC, the most successful club in the All-Ireland League, as we'll get set to have the rosters. Shannon lineup. The front three, we've got Connor Glynn, Jordan Prenderville, and Tony Cusack. The locks, we've got Luke Moylan and Ronan Coffey, captain as well. And the 6, 7, 8, we've got Kelvin Brown, Charlie Carmody, and Colm Heffernan. In the back line, we've got Aaron Hare at 9. 10, we've got John Bateman at wing, Ethan Maloney. 12 and 13, we've got Jack O'Donnell and Paul Ryan. And then 14 and 15, Darren Gavin and Ben Daly. And for your home side, starting at loosehead prop, Will Vakalahi, O'Sheen O'Neill, Dante Lopresti, Mason McElwee, and Tyler Barbary, finishing that out. Dakota Worth, Fred Wintermantle, and
Fred McElvey.
And Josh Brown, I believe, getting the 8th spot.
Yeah, that's Josh Brown's spot.
And we are live, the first ever kickoff for Old Glory DC, as Stapleton gets us started.
And we're away.
And Shannon makes a mistake, lets the ball go to ground. Old Glory immediately pouncing on it. Reed recycles. Dakota Worth getting his first taste of contact. Reed recycles again, a little over the head of Stapleton. Old Glory not bothered by that as they regather quickly.
Took up the ball.
Now we'll get some forward runners right off of Reed recycling. Shannon trying to make a nuisance of the breakdown there. Old Glory probably going to try and reset after getting pushed back. Try and get some momentum built up again. We've got a little bit of extra handbags going on between Shannon RFC and Old Glory. The ref has not seen it happen. It's just two teams sharing their culture with each other.
Yeah,
just some friendly handbags,
yeah,
you know?
Absolutely.
Nothing wrong with this.
Handbags like dusk. We usually have that at dawn.
Yeah. You know. One of the Old Glory players heard that someone on Shannon didn't get their passport stamped at the airport, so he was just getting it stamped for him.
Sure.
Welcome to America. Now let's see what the touch judge says.
I don't think there's any big deal here. Just let the boys play, you know.
Yeah, I don't think we'll have any cards. All right, so we have the replay. Wonder if we'll see how this happened. So the ball was shooting. All right, so.
Okay, not 10. So the Shannon player is illegal and tried to pull the 9 into the ruck as well. So.
But it was all for naught. Let's see what the
selects ball.
If we'll go back to that penalty. Yeah, just to talk to the captains. Yeah. Nothing coming from that scuffle. You know the crowd likes to see their home side. Not afraid to back down this early on.
Absolutely. As the Shannon boys will be the same. They're a very young side. I think all of the team that's right there, they're all under 24, 25 years of age. So a very youthful side. And they'll be looking to use those young legs to run around the Old Glory guys who are definitely going to try and punch it up here. And
as the touring team, you kind of have to set the tone. You know, you're the tourists. You have to make your presence felt. Now, the wind obviously playing a factor in that kick. You know, we mentioned the heat and the wind, how both teams are going to use that. Shannon having the benefit of the wind in this first half. Our first line out for Old Glory. First jumper.
Nice
a clean line out. Stapleton takes it up. Got a crash ball to Zach.
I think that was Selby that took that ball.
Yes, that was Selby. Niba Tawalu. Attacking with the weak side here.
As Will
Lakahali making a break.
Nice carry.
It was a fantastic carry. Stapleton regathering the ball after it hits the ground. Wintermantle over. Reed recycling. Again, slowing things back down. Let's get our footing again, Old Glory says. Try and set the ball. Lopresti getting his first carry. The Lopresti brothers looking to make their impact felt in this match.
Yeah, his brother Guy is on the bench today.
So another penalty. Like you said, Old Glory looking to punch it up a little bit more. put Shannon on the defensive, and it seems to be working out.
I think you're going to see the scrum half Reed playing a big role in today's game, being able to settle down his team. He's played many, many years. I think he's been playing since he was 5 years of age in South Africa and came to the United States and has been an All-American. This player will set the tone today.
So there's the replay of the penalty and how we got here. Yeah, so speaking of Michael Reed, I believe he's played professionally in the States before in San Francisco.
Correct. The now defunct Pro 12, the Pro League Rugby.
It was just called Pro Rugby.
Pro Rugby.
We don't have to talk about that. You know, we got MLR now.
It was back in the day.
Yeah, we were young and naive. But again, Michael Reed was one of the better players on that squad.
And we got Nick Cool here.
Nick
With
Cool.
the first ever points for Old Glory.
The vice captain, Nick Cool, slotting an easy 3 points to put Old Glory up on the tourists. Shannon will try and counter with their first kickoff. Now let's see how Old Glory responds when the ball's in their territory.
Shannon are going to be desperate to get their hands on this ball, just for nothing else but just to settle themselves down.
And when the crowd's behind the home team, you have to quiet them down. You can't let momentum and that atmosphere get to you too much.
Somehow, and this is just the worst thing that could have happened to them, is to just concede points so early in the game within the first 5 minutes. I know it was only a penalty, but that'll definitely give the Glory boys a bit of confidence.
All right, a deep kickoff. Not under any pressure is the point scorer. Gets taken down, possibly inside his 22. Shannon slow up on defense if Old Glory wanted to spin out wide, but Stapleton elects to hit a bit of a clearance kick. Does not find touch, however. Shannon looking to counter, spinning it wide, and it's
Oh, Wintermantle.
Fred
nearly.
Wintermantle almost intercepted it. Winter is not coming right now, at least.
That's the old timer.
We got a replay of that real quick. Shannon definitely had the advantage there. They were spinning the ball wide. Old Glory looked like they weren't set on defense on that side, but Fred really bailing them out there. So here's the kick, doesn't find touch as it swings over.
Unfortunately, we're not. Oh, are we going to get to see it here? Well, Fred Wintermantle stepped into the line like he was 21 years of age. He is well into his 30s. I think he's 36.
I was able to speak with Fred before the match. A couple of these players, they weren't too nervous about the climate here. They were just hoping that by the end of the match, they were still fit enough to take advantage of it, because they know that Shannon hasn't been practicing in this weather.
Absolutely. As the game goes on, we'll see how the Shannon guys can cope with the blazing heat. This should be a good first scrum. We'll see what happens here.
Yeah, so we had the first line out. It was an easy front lifter by Old Glory, not taking any chances there, nothing a little too intricate. Let's see how the scrum packs down and if they try and get an arm wrestling match here.
Looks like the Glory boys might have a couple of pounds on this pack of Shannon, so we'll see what the technique is like.
Look for Josh Brown to give them a steady platform out the back, if they can steal this. Colm Heffernan back there at 8 for Shannon. As they get tight and they start driving, they get advantage.
Great technique.
Hare offloads in contact to the forward, looping around. It looks like Shannon finally found something that they can get the upper hand in. A massive pass,
Whoa, great
massive
tackle,
gap there.
Josh Bride.
Pass comes back inside. Old Glory looking to get their hands on the quick backs here as the ball does go to ground. But we'll go back to the advantage on the scrum. Get some tension still running high here.
Professional rugby.
Professional rugby. There's a lot to play for. Neither side wants to back down, and neither side will.
You know, this young Shannon team, although they've had a really good time when they're here, they know it's game time. They know they're here to do a job, and they want to go back home with their heads held high as well. So that's why I think you're seeing a little bit of the extra aggression right now. They want to put a stamp on this game too.
All right, let's see the Shannon using the wind to their advantage to get a deep line out.
It looks like we got a Shannon player down, number 14. I think that's Darren Gavin that's got, it looks like a calf or a foot problem.
All right, so the first line out for Shannon, deep in Old Glory territory. Let's see how their maul defense works out. They can get them pinned early. Shannon continues to roll with it. We have advantage already to Shannon. Now it's a little bit muddled. Ball's at the back. Let's see if we can try and maul it over.
I think it's there. It's playable for the 9. Oh,
wow.
Big giant gap.
Aaron Patrick Hare cuts right through that defense for the first try of the match, pulling Shannon ahead 5-3. Should be quite the easy conversion.
It was a complete defensive miscue there on the maul. There was nobody there playing on defense on the open side, and it was an easy try for a little stepper like the Shannon scrum half, and he made short work of that.
Yeah, we got word that the Patrick Hare was the man to watch, the danger man to watch, and didn't take long, under 10 minutes, for him to show just how quick he can be. And like you said, maybe Old Glory a little too focused on that maul defense, had heads down, not looking up before the ball came out. Conversion is good. Score moves to 7-3, Shannon over Old Glory. So both teams have had attacking time. Both teams have come away with points. You know, first 10 minutes done. What do you think so far?
I think it's been exactly like we thought it would be. I think that we're starting to see how Old Glory want to play. They want to be a physical, dominant forward pack, but we're seeing the technique of Shannon in the scrum and the lineouts, and just their own technical ideas on how they're running their lines, and they've created large gaps in the Old Glory defensive line. So it's going to be who has the ball right now, I think, is
like Elahi with a big hit there.
Very important.
So Old Glory going for the same bit of the field on their kickoff. Shannon moving on slow, possibly a box kick here.
Nice
Pretty
height.
high.
Nick Cool under it.
Good take by Cool. He's under pressure. Brought down by 2 men, but Fred is there to clean up that ruck and secure the ball for Old Glory. We'll get Josh Brown's first run as he gets some ground. Ball's quickly recycled.
To Don Taylor Presley, that's his 3rd carry.
Going weak side again. Barbary with his carry. Switching sides now. A lot of one-up runners. Stapleton gets taken into contact. Hatch have to remain calm in a situation like this. Looking for some space out wide, not able to find any. Shannon's so quick on that defense. Michael Reed box kick goes straight out of bounds, and they were outside the 22. So a bit of a miscue there between Old Glory. Shannon will now have a line out where that ball was kicked.
That was a bit of a mental error there, I think. Maybe it was just the nerves of the situation. But I think we've seen already that the Shannon guys, their defensive line has been very good.
We have to thank Iron Vine Security, a sponsor of Old Glory DC. The connected world is a safer place for Old Glory fans thanks to Iron Vine Security. Iron Vine provides cutting-edge cybersecurity solutions for enterprises across the U.S. and around the world, with experience in over 30 countries. At Iron Vine, we are driven by purpose to solve the toughest security challenges so you can stay at the top of your game. Thank you, Iron Vine.
We've got a Shannon line out right now. Let's see what they're trying to run. They had a very easy take the last time. Straight up this time in the middle. Another drive.
Let's see if Old Glory can maintain their discipline on this maul, not give up advantage so quickly. Shannon moving, plodding forward. Old Glory looking for any response they can get, and there's the advantage. Slowed him down a little bit. And then we'll go back to the penalty. No reason for Shannon to not do the same thing. Go for the line out and go for the maul, don't you think?
I tend to agree. It's been working quite well. They have their number 5 there has been doing really, really good work. That's Ronan Coffey, and that's the captain today, isn't he? And I think 2 of the balls have gone to him so far, and he's done good work with them both. In the corner.
You got to wonder if Old Glory will even contest this line out, or if they'll just wait to see which pod is lifted and where they can set the maul, because they need to get that early shove whenever they can against this strong Shannon pack.
Coffee up again. Stolen.
Ball stolen.
Barbary.
You see Shannon was going for a slow line out, maybe trying to catch Old Glory offside. That's not what you need to do with your stolen possession that deep in your territory. They'd love to have that one back.
I know they saw the space, but sometimes you just have to put a boot to it.
Yeah, so it looked like Shannon was going for a little bit of a slower developing maul, but Old Glory, they're under no obligation to wait for them to set it up.
Well, I think when Coffey came down, he held on to the ball right at the front. Barbary was able to come in there and rip it out of his hands with a great steal. You don't see that very often, but it was completely legal play.
Almost on the exact opposite side of the field as they were just on. Similar situation, another front pod.
Better
They get
this
it quicker
time.
going this time. Old Glory managing to keep it set, not giving up any penalties. Are they over the line?
I think they're held up, though.
Held up. Now the scrum was another point of dominance for Shannon the last time. We've only had one. Let's see if they can continue that this close to the Old Glory try line. So here's the line out as it happened. And we'll live cut back right to the scrum as we're setting up. No one watching that weak side. Wonder if Michael Reed will cut around. The 6 has to keep his head up.
Again, watch the scrum half.
And it's wheeled. That's a
Oh,
penalty
penalty
try.
try.
Unfortunate for Old Glory, not able to keep the scrum from wheeling, leading to an easy 7 for Shannon. That was pretty much just an arm wrestling match. That was all muscle.
That was all technique, is what that was. This pack is much smaller, but they are so tight, they're so low, and they're getting underneath the Old Glory props, and they're causing havoc right now. I think the Old Glory boys need to get that sorted out pretty quickly.
Yes, they need to maintain their drive in the scrum, not let either side give. And obviously, since that was a penalty try, there is no conversion. It's an automatic 7. We should have Stapleton getting us started again. Ball is deep. Plenty of time for Shannon. Ball stays in. Cool takes it cleanly. Swings the ball wide. Stapleton has it.
Give Ryan Burrows.
Finds his support. Ryan Burrows on the quick catch, and he's hit immediately. Ball's recycled quickly. Stapleton with a grubber through. He maintains possession. Oh, but it just loses it on the ground. Knock on called.
Nice idea, though.
Yeah, nice idea. Showing that no matter what, 14-3, they're still going to attack. They're not going to change their game.
Well, also, they have to figure out something how they're going to break that Shannon defensive line, right? So that little kick through might not be a bad idea to employ again. Whether that be the box kick over the top or just a little grubber through. We have to get that defensive line turned.
We've got a fantastic crowd here today. We've got People standing all around. Stands look full. I think we still have people over in the beer garden. Just the entire spectacle here has been fantastic for Old Glory's first match.
There's thousands of people here.
Oh, yes.
It is a great spectacle, a great event, and everybody seems to be having an excellent time.
And this is just the beginning.
Except maybe the Old Glory front row right now.
Yes, as we scrum down one more time. The reset real quick. I think Vakalahi might have slipped there, couldn't quite find his bind.
Another, oh!
And we've got a
Early
penalty.
drive, I believe.
So not all is well in the Shannon scrum, but they had the early advantage. Yeah, possibly an early drive. Nice break there for Old Glory. But again, the kick probably can't go as deep as they would like it with this wind.
Not bad.
Not bad. Inside Shannon territory, inside that 22.
Let's see if we can set it up now. I think we'll have to see McElway here in the line out, if we can get some clean ball and unleash this Old Glory backline.
You haven't seen the horses run too much yet.
Not yet. We haven't seen the flying Hawaiian, who's number 11 on the wing here for Glory, Vedekina Malafu.
Oh, nice steal by Shannon.
Went back.
Ball
Shannon
gone backwards. Old Glory having to come up quickly on defense. Going for the poach, not quite getting it. Another clearing kick, but it stays in. Burrows on it. Cool is with him in support. Burrows just running right up into the line, finding some space as Burrows.
Rugby league style.
Rugby league style. Now let's clean this ball up, and it bounces right into Shannon's hands. That is calamitous. But Patrick Francis Ryan takes it from about midfield.
Ryan under the posts.
That's unfortunate for Old Glory. They had momentum, they got a penalty, they lost the line out, but they had this nice run, a return by Ryan Burrows on that kick. But it was just that pass. It tipped on the fingers, and here's the replay of the Burrows run. Ball taken, quickly recycled by Michael Reed. And here's the pass. Just could not go to hand. You gotta wonder if that was the intended receiver or not. I don't think any player was particularly ready for it.
It was unfortunate, though. He should have taken that ball, and you know. But unfortunately, at this level, you're going to see mistakes, and you're going to see them punished. And that's exactly what's happened here in the last 20 minutes.
With an easy 2 points converted there.
Old Glory have made a few mistakes, and every single one has been punished.
And I believe, due to the heat, we will have a mandated water break. So the score remains 21-3 after that errant pass finds its way into Patrick's hands, and he goes the full length for the try. And he dots it down right between the posts. Easy, easy conversion. So we actually got the chance to speak with head coach of Old Glory DC, Andrew Douglas, about being a new rugby club and playing a historic matchup against Shannon RFC.
I think these guys here playing that hunger in front of their families, in front of their friends, in front of people that know them, and in front of the area, they're playing for DC. And that's probably the first ever. They're playing for DC under that banner. And that's what's going to pull them together, I think. Shannon, they're a professional team, Division 1 in Ireland, so they're going to come here. They haven't had a great season. They'll be disappointed with what happened with them in Ireland. So I think we've got to make sure that we've got organisation, we've got enthusiasm, we've got desire, and we've got a will that we want to succeed. I want to see us working hard for each other. We'll be competitive, and I want us to be competitive for 80 minutes. So the goal is to work hard for each other, to get organised and be prepared to work really, really hard for each other. If we can do that, we'll have some sort of success.
I believe the water break is almost over, and we'll get restarted with a kick from Old Glory to Shannon. So at least it's good for Old Glory to know that at least some of these tries haven't been outright dominance by Shannon.
They haven't been out-rugbyed yet.
Yes.
Yeah, no, absolutely, it's correct. It is their own mistakes that are their undoing, which obviously they'll be looking at with video study and back on the training ground over the next few weeks. But, you know, this game is far from over.
Another deep kick. Taken cleanly. We have our clearance kick. Stays in, taken again by Cool. He has his support. Puts in a high kick, a long one. We've got the counter attack.
Lovely little kick down the corner.
Bounced in once or twice before going out. Old Glory line out.
Excellent
Just outside of
tactical
22.
kick.
Yes.
Excellent tactical kick.
Nothing good was coming from that attacking phase. So get rid of it and put Old Glory under pressure.
I think that's the Shannon winger, Darren Gavin, there that kicked that in. Just playing the territory game right now, settling things down. They have the lead. We're going to force Glory to go the length of the field.
O'Sheen O'Neill with the throw in. We haven't seen a long throw yet, and we finally get one. It goes to the third pod, but just off his fingertips, bounces forward into Shannon's hands. You gotta wonder if the front pod this close into your territory is just the safest option. As the ball is recycled by Hare, looking for which way to go. Another almost interception by Fred.
Play on, though.
Play on, and it was not a car defense on that knockdown, but it was a penalty.
Well, nothing came from the advantage. Good play by the referee, Derek Summers. That's the second time Fred Wintermantle's gotten his hand on the ball. Hasn't quite taken either of them in yet.
It's definitely something that he is targeting in this match. And so far, Shannon hasn't wised up to it yet.
The other thing is, if he does it again, he'll get a yellow card.
Yes. Can't have any more knock-ons there. As Joseph Bateman found touch for the Shannon pack. Now, we've read this book before, and I believe we're going to see them all.
Oh,
Ooh,
went
ball
to ground.
drops. Knock on there. So Shannon's still having some miscues in the lineout. It's not all roses for them.
They've been able to collect the ball pretty cleanly, but they've been disturbed just when they're trying to get the ball back to begin that driving maul. It's been pretty good pressure from the Old Glory guys there in the middle. Tyler Barbary especially has been doing some excellent work there. But, you know, we just got to see Old Glory maintain possession now for a couple of minutes. If they can do that, I think we're going to start seeing a slightly different game.
Now, the last scrum was a Shannon put in, but it did result in a penalty to Old Glory. They're probably just hoping for a clean ball this time, though. Now, it was not hooked back, but the platform looks fine.
Shannon ball.
Ball's at the back. 8-man pick and go. It's taken down by Fred. Ball recycled. We're going to punch it up with the forwards here. Selby upshot a little bit, providing a gap for Shannon. We'll go back to a penalty. The breakdown got pretty messy there. Was that an offsides call? I could not see what happened.
Old Glory have got to fix that scrum. That was against the head. That can't happen. I'm not sure. I think we might see a front row replacement here pretty soon.
You've got a penalty. You might as well call for the scrum. They, like you mentioned, they have had some troubles with the exchange after the line out when they're trying to get it back there for the maul. So going with the surest platform they can before this restart.
So again, we have to worry about the penalty try here because of the dominance factor. We have to worry about the 8-man pick off the base, and then we have to worry about the 9-man, the scrum half.
Yeah, try score Patrick Hare, and then massive 8-man Colm Heffernan, and of course the rest of the squad. But both of those players you cannot sleep on this
They're
close
serious
to the goal
weapons.
line. Ball is in. No drive just yet.
Delayed drive, here it goes.
Seems to be popping up now. We've got advantage called to Shannon. They've got the crash ball coming with the center, and he dives right over the line. He ran a beautiful line there, going right toward the gap.
Was that Jack O'Donnell?
I believe
that
that was.
12?
Yes, Jack O'Donnell, number 12. Just finding that gap. Here comes the replay. So you see him running right in between. I believe that was someone in the forward pack and then the fly half. Neither of them could get the right angle to bring him down.
I think what we're seeing right now is the difference in defense in the two clubs. The Shannon defensive line has been rock solid so far. They haven't allowed very many line breaks, whereas the Old Glory guys are still trying to find their way. Their scheme is not quite working for them right now, and they think they just need to pick up the pace a little bit and work harder.
Yeah, in all these situations, they've been having to get on the back foot as the kick hits the post, which is kind of harder than making it. But score remains 26-3 after that try. So Old Glory getting on the board first with a quick 3, not able to respond, so 26 unanswered points. But you're right, their defensive strategy, they're having to be put on the back foot. They're not able to scan the field, they're not able to see where all the runners are coming from. They're having to look at where the scrum is getting pushed back. They're just getting distracted, really.
When we're putting in kicks, we're just putting it right down to the fullback, and he's either kicking it back or they're starting a counter-attack, whereas the Shannon players are looking for the corners, trying to play a little bit of Ronan O'Gara style.
So off that kickoff, finding some space, offloads in contact, not wanting to go down, finally brought down by Old Glory. Barbary trying to make a nuisance of that breakdown there, get things not clean. Got our second phase runners here. As he spin right out, right into contact, and he's swallowed up. Not letting them get the edge. And the ball spits out Old Glory's way.
Better defensive work.
Definitely needed that. Let's see what Michael Reed can do as he's brought down.
Josh Brown.
Pick and go right off the side of the ruck. No one paying attention on Shannon. Got to get the ball out quick now. Stapleton swings it wide. Vakalahi into contact. Takes two people to bring him down. Reed again with the recycle. Stapleton. Dummy. Makes a couple feet before he's brought down. As Old Glory tries to reset.
Keena's got the ball.
Ball wasn't the cleanest pass, but it is cleaned up and gathered by Old Glory. You can't let it sit there too long. Someone needs to pass that out eventually. And we do have a stoppage. Michael Reed looked like he was waiting for the referee to say something. I believe we're going to have the captains come over.
I didn't see what happened there. I'm not sure why referee Summers is calling the guys over. Didn't quite catch that.
I wonder if he had some, Derek had some help from the assistant touch judge. All right, so we've got a replay coming up. So here's a replay of the try we witnessed earlier. You see that Jack O'Donnell coming in on that perfect line, just looping around on that banana run and finding that gap. And just a quick talking to again. This is the second time Derek Summers has had to talk to both teams. And he'll probably told them, the next time I do this, someone is going to take a seat for 10 minutes. And while we have this break, I'm going to give a shout out to the title sponsor, Cuisine Solutions. They are proud to be the title sponsor of Old Glory DC and support the rugby community. Based in Sterling, Virginia, Cuisine Solutions provides high-quality sous vide cooked products to more than 22,000 restaurants, as well as first class and business class on top 10 airlines in the world, cruise ships, and major hotels. I was able to get a little bit of a snack before we started the broadcast, and I can tell you it is delectable.
I had the Old Glory sandwich.
So if you can, you need to make it to a match here eventually, so you can try. Yes, they have the famous Old Glory sandwich here. Fantastic food, set up right up next to us. If you make it out to an Old Glory match, you'd be remiss to try to miss that. As we get started again.
Better scrum from Glory, but still taking a little bit of a back foot.
Yeah, Shannon showing that they're not keen on passing that ball out until they have advantage.
Scrum half is
And
away.
here goes Hare. Tries to break, find the gap, and he does. Does he need support? Oh, he finally gets clobbered.
Dakota Worth.
As he's brought down. Yeah, Dakota chasing the man down.
Go through.
Old Glory messing up that the ruck there. Looks like Shannon has numbers out wide if they use it. No, it goes into contact. Messy ball now, but we do have a penalty. Not coming in straight is Old Glory. Unfortunate, but with how messy that was getting, you got to wonder if a penalty was the best option for Old Glory, just to stop the play and get it reset. So here's the replay. Here's Hare's dicing run. Goes through untouched. But as you mentioned, Dakota Worth not giving up on the play.
Did not.
So
great
Cool,
tackle from Nick Cool, though.
Yeah, Cool making the tackle there. And then Kinna himself messing up that ruck, slowing the ball down. But again, as the ball swung wide, Old Glory infringed at the ruck. So we'll have another line out to Shannon.
I think right now you can see that the Shannon guys, they're just doing the little things very cleanly, very well. And the Old Glory boys, they're just making a few little simple errors that, again, as I said earlier, they're just being destroyed on the scoreboard because of it, which is a little unfair, but that's the nature of the game.
Yeah, it's sometimes those tiny mistakes that get you.
You
like
get
the dropped ball
so
that led
severely.
to a 50-meter try. You know, it's something that normally it's gathered up and cleaned up quickly, but in one case it went down for 7 points.
What a driving maul.
Looks like almost the entire Shannon team is in there. Finally brought down.
Oh,
and a knock on. Old Glory bending but not breaking there.
that
That's
was
what we need to see.
Dante Lopresti in there with the tackle right at the end. He swam the whole way through that.
That's the kind of grit that you like to see in this Old Glory squad. They're bending right up until their goal line on that driving maul. But when it matters, when it counted, they were able to create that turnover. As we do have a Shannon man down. That is the tight head prop.
Well, now that we're a half an hour in, I think we're going to start seeing how the weather is affecting these guys. I can see a lot of water carriers out there.
Yeah, you got to wonder if Tony Cusack there's actually injured or if he just needed a sip of water. When you're in the front row, you take any liberty you can get. I've heard.
It's true.
I wouldn't know from experience. I was in the back, so I was always asking for a mirror. And he's up. No subs yet. He says, there's only 8 minutes and a half. I can finish this out. All right, time is back on. So they were able to turn the ball over, but they're not out of the furnace just yet. They're deep in their territory is Old Glory, as we're getting set for a Michael Reed put-in. We haven't had too many clean Old Glory scrums.
I don't think we've had any clean Old Glory scrums, to be
that's
quite
also
honest with
true.
you. Yeah. Let's hopefully we can get one here, though. Shannon's definitely going to try and put the pressure on here.
Ball's hooked back.
Better.
Finally, a great platform. Nima Tawalu breaks over a man. That man looks a little shaken up. Finally, some good physical play from the centers as Stapleton clears it.
Nice job. Great exit strategy right there. But
Yeah.
it's all because of they were able to solidify that scrum. Finally, maybe we can see this going forward now, where they figured it out, they've made the corrections, and hopefully we can see that stability in the scrum going forward, which will allow to get the Old Glory guys a little bit more of a platform to continue.
Yeah, exactly. That great platform allowed that up front runner to break ground, give Stapleton a little bit more room back there to get that clearance kick. Probably one of their, even though it was just a clearing kick, one of their better passages there, getting that solid platform.
Again, it's a very simple game when you do the little things right.
Another clean line out by Shannon. Looked a little off, but Derek says play on. Hare misses the first runner with the dummy pass. Fred going in for the poach, getting taken off. Hare with the pass out. Nice
Crunching
contact there. Thought he could get through that gap, but he cannot.
Well,
great timing there by Stapleton.
Yeah.
Getting through there, stealing the
Stolen
ball.
by Josh Brown.
Fantastic play by Old Glory. They just hold on to the ball, get this cleaned up. Shannon's on the back foot now. You cannot mess this up. Stapleton passes it out.
Zach Foro.
Zach Foro not held. Nice clean platform again as Reed passes it out. Barbary pops it to his forward. And the pass taken by Michael Reed here as it's swinging back to the other side of the field. Ooh. Taken in contact. Michael Reed fakes the pass from the ground. The defender falls for it, luckily. But Old Glory's still under a lot of pressure here. And finally, Zach clears it, but he's not in this 22, so the ball must stay in. Now let's see what the fullback spins it wide. Shannon electing to use the width of the field. A huge break through the defense, finally brought down. Nice rough tackle there. And a penalty to Old Glory. Holding on is Shannon.
I think that was Ethan Maloney, the winger, that brought the ball in, went straight down the middle, but unfortunately he outran his own players, and it was a pretty easy strip there. He was caught for holding on. So nice little break there for the Old Glory guys, and a great clearing kick.
You gotta wonder that some of the bad part about making such a clean break through that defense is you outrun your support.
If you get tackled,
yes.
You're in trouble.
So another Old Glory line out just over midfield, one of their better attacking positions in about the last 15 minutes. We have maybe 2 minutes before half, 2-3 minutes. Let's see if Old Glory can capitalize and get a try on the board. Going for that front
Barbary
lifter. Stapleton. Nice crash ball out to, I believe we have our first substitute on the field.
Well, that's Josh Brown, is it? I think it's just a different jersey.
Okay, Josh Brown, the 8-man, getting some go-forward ball. Stapleton with a chip through directly to the wing. And a nice step, but Keena not falling for it. The ball is loose. Finally, Old Glory putting some great pressure on Shannon. This ruck is not over with. This is still getting cleaned up, and unfortunately we have a penalty now. Old Glory getting a little too aggressive there at the breakdown.
Still quite a good facet of play. The little kick through again is doing damage. The fullback coughed it up, got under pressure, but you got to admire the Shannon boys. They're just quite comfortable at mopping things up, and they got themselves out of trouble there. And now you'll see a little clearing kick.
The big thing for Old Glory is that they've shown themselves that they can do it. They can break the line. They can win their scrums and their lineouts.
Absolutely. I think it's taken 35 minutes. I know they scored first, but that's, that adrenaline factor.
And this
missed
kick is staying in, taken cleanly by Kinna. Now Cool on the counterattack finds his support, and Burrows goes into contact, flirting with the line over there, manages to stay in. Reed on the recycle. Josh Brown getting hit, but still falling forward, dragging defenders with him. Reed going back to that weak side. We finally have an advantage. Shannon offside there as the defender shot up. And we'll take that advantage, says Old Glory.
Good kick.
So this is the deepest territory I believe Old Glory has had this half.
In quite some time, at least.
Just as the wind starts to kick up,
Well,
perfect timing for Old Glory's line out.
Absolutely. But I think that they should still be able to get some possession here and hopefully push one in before the half's out.
Shannon contests it and wins. And we'll have another clearing kick.
Excellent
And
kick.
this time it does find touch. That was a deep clearing kick, almost to midfield. So, 30 meters difference, 40 meters difference just on that unfortunate play.
Well,
for
once
Old Glory.
again, we've seen that Shannon have made the adjustment. They've seen where the Old Glory guys want to go. They saw it the last time they were down there. They were sure that they were going to get a jumper up to try and, if nothing else, slow down a little bit of momentum. But they were able to steal the ball, and now we're back at halfway.
A cleaner line out this time. Reed to Stapleton. Stapleton to Selby. Able to get back up to the line out was at. Resetting the new gate line. Stapleton skip pass out to Cool.
Go,
Cool
Keena.
finds the flying Hawaiian. Keena putting the moves on. Brought down with an ankle. Cool there.
Cool has
Perfect
it.
supports. Is he there? He does have the support. Another pick and go by Keena. The flying Hawaiian. He wants to do it all himself. Back saying that they know how to pick and drive too. We're right on the line. The crowd is getting behind their team. And we
it's
have
a score!
try time. That was a beautiful passage of play by Old Glory. Not letting go until the final whistle. That was fantastic. We saw that Shannon defense shoot up there, barely missing that interception on that ball to Cool.
Was that the big man, McElway, that got over there? I think it was.
That was some fantastic support. That was a forward that scored that try. That's what you're seeing. This team is really fighting for each other out there.
Absolutely. It just shows that they can play with the Shannon boys. There's no doubt about that. It'll give them a little bit of confidence now going into the second half. We got ourselves a game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just cleaning up those small mistakes. We talked about, as you mentioned earlier, Old Glory is not getting out rugbyed just yet. A lot of it's those own simple mistakes that they're making. But that is what happens when everything goes right. And that was a great passage of play between backs and forwards. Everyone interlinking, and a fantastic run by the Flying Hawaiian.
For sure. I think we can see that, Shannon have played an entire season together. All these guys have already played their club rugby this year. They've had a couple of weeks to rest. They're back over here on tour, but they're primed and ready to play. The Old Glory guys, this is their first ever game together. They've had a scrimmage with the Capital Selects a few weeks ago, but that was about it. Unfortunate kick there by Nick Cool.
Yeah, just missed it. Yeah, but it's important to mention, as you noted, Shannon has already played their league in the All-Ireland League. As we head to halftime, 26-9. We'll be back during halftime with an interview with Paul, one of the owners.
Paul Sheehy.
Paul Sheehy and Chris Dunleavy. But for right now, we're going to go to a short break.
I'm working at the Imperial Hotel in Tokyo, and this area called Ginza, which is center of Tokyo.
So the atmosphere today has just been absolutely insane. We've had some fantastic, the fantastic crowd. We have a beer garden here. We've got a tailgate section. We have a kids area. You have everything that you could want. Catering. I mean, this is one of the best rugby matches that I've been able to attend as far as professionalism. And just a shout out to Old Glory. I took the Metro, and they have a shuttle about a 2-minute walk from the Metro that brought me here. And I'm an out-of-towner, and I was able to find it. So, I mean, this has just been absolutely glorious to not be too nail on head for that one. So we got the first half highlights here.
Okay, I can't hear you.
So yes, we have first half highlights of Old Glory's first attacking action. Vakalahi showing that he's not easy to bring down at all, the huge loose forward. So really in the first half we had a lot of back and forth. Old Glory getting on the board first with 3 points, but then 26 unanswered points by Shannon. But as we mentioned, a lot of it was simple mistakes by
it
Old
was
Glory.
a big
Wasn't so much
momentum
Shannon.
change.
Yes.
It was definitely a big momentum change, but unfortunately, just the Old Glory guys, there was a couple of little, what we would consider to be a minor error, but they just got punished so badly. You know, when you knock a ball on, you don't always see it carried back 50 meters for a try, but that's exactly what happened. But that's why we're playing the game, right? We want to play these upper level teams. We want to get to their level and we want to surpass it. That's not going to happen unless you play these guys. So this is for the Old Glory guys, especially the local players. You know, this is a baptism of fire, but it's what you would want.
Yeah, if you want to play professional rugby, you have to play at a certain level. And I think what's really exciting was that despite 26 points like that, Old Glory showed multiple times that they do have the defense that it takes to turn the ball over when it's tight, when they're in their own red zone. And then they can take that possession and move it down the field. They can make large line breaks, and they can hold Shannon to their own game in the maul, in the scrum, and fight back. So it was really encouraging towards the end of the first half to see Old Glory not lose momentum like that. They really stuck with it and fought back.
I think the most important thing that I saw was that they were able to solidify their scrum. I think the front row was able to work out the little kinks that were going on there. There's such minor little details within the scrum that creates either a great scrum or one that's a little fractured. Once they were able to solidify that area, they're going to get a little bit more platform now in the second half, and I think that we'll see their strike runners in the back line be able to get some momentum and carry forward. Yeah,
Old Glory will finally have the wind at their back. The sun is going down, but they'll have that going their way as well. So we'll see how that changes. But right now we're also joined by one of the owners of Old Glory, Paul Sheehy.
Great, thanks for having me on. And yeah, we're ecstatic. You know, the crowd is hopefully in the second half, our team feeds off this energy. But what a great way to end the half with about a minute and a half left to score. So our first try ever with Old Glory. It's a great atmosphere here. You can see the crowd, and I think, you know, I'm judging it's a 10 to 15 point win. I don't know what you guys think, but, but I'm hoping we make use of it. Of course, now the flags have completely stopped, but the heat's pretty brutal out there also.
So what does it mean for you? I mentioned this atmosphere, everything that's going on in this crowd. What does it mean for you to see this? You're so ingratiated in rugby. I believe your 4 children play rugby in college and in high school. I mean, your love for the game is really manifested here, don't you think? I mean, what does it mean for you to see this?
Well, it's just a great rugby community, and we always felt if we got the business side of it right that we'd have a lot of supporters, and they showed up on a hot day today, and this is why we do all this. And, you know, I was down on the ticket line. I wanted to be up here, but we were just trying to make sure people got through the gates. So these are good problems to happen. You know, we knew this would be sort of a learning curve in these first 4 games. And we also know, you know, Shannon's been around since 1884. We've been around since 2018. So they got a little bit of an edge on us there.
Slightly, yeah.
But I think in the second half we're gonna see Old Glory really stand up and do some of the things that we need to do. And look, we're trying to come together as a team too. So this is that first half. We'll probably, I'm sure the coach will have a couple things to say for the boys, and we'll come out here ready to go in the second half.
Well, that's why you play the exhibition season, right? Is to work out all the kinks, and it's not just on the field. It's to deal with, the ticketing and the fan base, and make sure that everything is running smoothly, and you have the tailgate going on, and all the other family activities. I mean, there's a lot of logistics built into this whole thing. And if you just look around right now, everybody's having a whale of a good time. We got the mini rugby players on the field. Fans are clapping them around. We got the tailgate still happening over there. The band is playing. The food is being eaten. I mean, what an environment.
This is, it exceeded our expectations. So, I think when you look at Catholic Cardinal Stadium here, the tailgate section is wonderful. The beer garden section, we had a band playing there. We're half a mile from the metro. We had some issues out front. We actually had long lines trying to get in. These are good problems to have. But we want to work through those because we want to make it a great experience. So, so far so good, but we need a strong second half from Old Glory.
Completely agree. And tell us about next week, the match you have going on for Memorial Day.
Yes, so we're playing the Scotland U20s. As everyone knows, the SRU are our partners, which we are ecstatic to have them as partners. Mm-hmm. And the team that they're taking to the Junior World Cup will be coming over to play us. So. We better be ready because we're going to have another tough game within a week, and we expect the crowd to be just as boisterous, and it'll be another test.
I mean, some of those players, I know it says U20s, but some of those players can't be more than a year or two away from the full-on Scotland national team. I mean, playing that is some massive opposition.
We hope so, and we hope we can recruit some for Old Glory also. This is a recruiting exercise for us, and that's part of that's. It's actually a little harder to put on an exhibition game, I think, because you have to handle both teams. So it's been a great experience, and we knew it was going to be a challenge, especially with these first two games. But we felt that's the test we needed to put our organization through. So, and I'm just excited to see the second half and see how everyone responds. We've got a new team and a new coach, but this is part of how you have to grow and go through these, and I'm sure he's going over some critical things in the halftime right now.
Thank you for joining us, Paul. Like you said, exceeds expectations. This has been fantastic. Thank you for joining us. We're going to toss it over to Andrew Douglas and his journey about making it over to the States.
Thank you.
I just finished my time in Japan, and the super top league there. There's a pretty intense sort of competition there. It's a lot of pressure, and then I had a couple of offers from Europe, but I was keen to sort of settle my family, and then out of the blue, this sort of opportunity came up, and Paul Sheehy contacted me and asked if I'd be interested in talking to him, and it was something I hadn't really thought about coming to the States, to be honest. But when I got here and I met Paul, and I met Chris Dunleavy, the other owner, and people like Toshi Palomo, and that's what got me excited. The people were passionate about rugby and really want to see us succeed, and obviously DC I thought was a pretty cool city at the time, and talked to my wife, and she thought it was a place she could be too, and my kids were happy with that decision as well. So we had a bit of a chat about how things could look and what sort of agreements we could come to and how it was going to progress. And once I was happy that everyone was doing it for all the right reasons, it became a pretty easy decision in the end just to be here with the excitement around it.
So we did have the Honor Cup going on yesterday and today. And as a curtain raiser to this match, we did have Old Breed Rugby playing. It's fantastic to see so many service members here being honored and putting all their hearts out there for each other on the rugby pitch. Some of the military schools in the U.S. have some of the most storied rugby programs. And it's always amazing getting to watch them come together and support each other in that way. And it's all for charity. They're raising money for fallen service members and their families, and it really is an experience, and it's an honor getting to watch them play and really thanking them for their service. So the second half that we've got coming up very shortly, as I mentioned earlier, Shannon will have the sun in their eyes, and they're going to have the wind in their faces. So before we get to the second half, though, we're actually joined by Chris Dunleavy, the other owner of Old Glory DC. And he's going to talk to us about a little bit about the squad, the makeup of it, and then we'll preview the second half with him. thank you for joining us, Chris.
Can I speak? Hello.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining us. All right.
You respond. Thank you for joining us. You talk. So, Chris, this fantastic atmosphere that we've got going on today, what does it mean for you to see so much hard work pay off in this?
Well, I tell you, it has been more than a year of getting ourselves ready, getting the market ready. The amazing thing is you can see from our crowd today and our sponsors lining the sideline that the rugby community in DC has really responded to every amount of work we've put in. We've got just a phenomenal level of support from business leaders, from all the rugby clubs in the region who obviously got the fans out to watch us. Mm-hmm. So it's been very edifying to see this kind of response out of the market.
And I've heard from some birds that this atmosphere that we've got going on here is in large part due to you.
Oh,
so are you going to take any credit for this? I mean, this really is a festival we've got going on here.
Yeah, I think it is very much what we try to achieve. So I will say, I think our ownership group, our management team has put together a good plan, and like I said, the market responded. So it's important for us to sort of build on the culture of rugby, which has traditions of enjoying itself as well as playing hard, but also make this a very family-friendly environment that, as you can see, brings out young kids and young families and parents to enjoy the game as well.
Yeah, and you've been able to wrap up all of that perfectly in this atmosphere, in this facility, which is a great facility. I hear you still play rugby as well.
I do. My knees got me a little hung up at the moment, but I've been very honored to be allowed back on the pitch by the Washington Irish RFC, one of the great stalwart clubs of the D.C. area over the last 4 or 5 years, and many of my favorite moments on the rugby pitch have come in that period. So I'm really, it's a sport that gets in your blood, and I haven't been able to shake it yet.
If only MLR had come around 10 years earlier, maybe.
Brother, I was good enough to play 25 years ago.
But you had the heart. That's all that matters.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. No, it's a thrill to see, actually, to have played the game and understand how it works, and then see the caliber of athlete we've been able to put together to come out and do this. Even if we're reaching to be able to compete with a club like Shannon, a legendary AIL club. It's a great start for Old Glory, and we feel fantastic about how it's coming together under Coach Andrew Douglas.
Well, as Roland mentioned, Shannon has 100 years or so
easily
on Old Glory.
Yeah, and then some, I think. But as I said earlier with Paul, it's that you have to play the best to become the best, right? So
yes.
We're playing a perennial All-Ireland League, always right thereabouts. They're in a bit of they have a young, hungry team over here this weekend, and
yes.
They're showing up too. And we could see it was got a little bit tough at the very beginning. There was a little bit of handbags early.
Yeah.
They were showing that they weren't there to make up the numbers as well. And
right.
you could see the Old Glory guys were not taking that either. And then when they got on with some rugby, and that's it's a spirited game out there, and I think we're going to see a big second half.
Well, you can tell right off the bat, neither team was taking this game lightly. They both went at it with everything they had. It was a very dynamic first half, even though the scoreboard didn't end up looking the way I would have liked. It was a lot of good hard rugby, and very much looking forward to seeing.
Well, we don't play friendlies in rugby; we play tests.
That's right. Exactly. They are tests. Exactly. Well, it was spectacular to see. A number of the set pieces we've got some work to do on. I think, although I think the talent of some of our players really show. There's some guys that know how to hit their lines and run the ball. Got some work to do on how they connect together and our passing and catching. But it's been some terrific rugby. It's really enjoyable to see.
Yeah, it's been fantastic to watch, especially how they responded as Old Glory and Shannon are about to take the field again. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for putting this all together. We wouldn't be here without you and the ownership group.
Thank you guys very much for being here. We really appreciate your production, and thanks for chatting with me.
Thank you so
Wonderful
much.
To meet you
much
guys.
appreciated.
Look forward to the second half here. So again, getting into the outlook of the second half. Old Glory, I believe, will be receiving right off of the bat. Now let's see what they do with the ball. They're going to have to show that they can't kick away possession too much. They're going to have to accept the fact that they have to run with the ball. They can't count on Shannon to make the mistakes. They're going to have to make their own luck in this situation. So we'll see how that works out in the early minutes of the second half. And then also, we'll have to see when we get some substitutes on here, because as you mentioned, it's really hot, and we didn't see anyone come on in the front row in the first half.
No, we didn't. It'll be interesting to see what Coach Douglas has done, if he has made any changes to the pack, and if they were able to figure out what was going on with the set piece. And if they're able to figure out those couple of little things and get a little bit of confidence and some continuity, which is always one of the last things to come with a team. To be a team, you need to play together, and we can see a little bit of lack of connectivity today. But now they've had the first 40 under their belts. Let's see if they can get a little bit more go forward, clean up those rucking situations, and then let their strike runners get forward, go with momentum, and hopefully we can punch a couple of tries in here.
I mean, again, Cuisine Solutions is proud to be the title sponsor of Old Glory DC and support the rugby community. Based in Sterling, Virginia, Cuisine Solutions provides high-quality sous vide cooked products to more than 22,000 restaurants, as well as first and business class on the top 10 airlines in the world, cruise ships, and major hotels. If you're not here, I can only tell you how delectable this food is, before you just drive here yourself and get it, or do business with Cuisine Solutions.
I'd like to point out, while it's great to be in this particular position, it's horrible as a big guy having these wafts of steak and rosemary coming down, and on the other side we've got the beer tent. I'm a little hungry right now.
You should have seen me walk up to the Cuisine Solutions tent. I wasn't sure if it was only for volunteers or workers. I walked up sheepishly. Can I have some of this, please? And they let me have more than I wanted. It was fantastic. But what you mentioned before of the connectivity, we finally saw towards the end of that half, Old Glory playing as a cohesive unit, and the strike runner finally got the ball and was able to gash
we
the defense.
mentioned that Keena would be one to watch a little earlier, and he was able to get the ball with just a little bit of space. He was able to get around the fullback, and even though he was able to make a last-ditch tackle, but they set it up, they maintained possession, and they got over the line. So let's see what we got here just after the kickoff.
Old Glory receives it. Big guy does not want to get brought
Brown
down.
again.
He says, send some forwards my way. It's an insulting task to bring them back after me. We'll have some more forward running here. Crashing the ball up. Nice little run by Lopresti there. As Old Glory showing that they want to run with the ball. They're going to have to. They can't let Shannon dictate the speed of this game. Quick defense up there as Reed resets. Possibly a bit of offsides.
Yeah,
and it is caught. Yep, he shot up way too quick.
But that defensive line speed again, it's causing Old Glory a lot of trouble.
And I guess when you're Shannon, you have some cushion, so why not push the envelope right there and see if you can get away with something on a bit of offsides.
Most definitely.
So our first line out of the second half going Old Glory's way. Let's see if we can release the backs a little bit more. I'm interested to see this inside and outside connection between Zach and Selby in the second half.
It looks like they've placed Zach in the 12 position here, so they switched out Selby to the 13. It looks like he's holding a shoulder.
And it's all for naught. Is not straight the call.
Again, we just hate to see these unforced errors, right? Scrum down, Shannon ball.
All right, well, let's see what happens in our first scrum.
It's pretty cool when we have Mick Galway, an Irish international legend, right in front of us, making the trip here with Shannon.
Yes, because Shannon RFC, the most successful club in the All-Ireland League. They've produced plenty of talent at the international level, British and Irish Lions.
Some of the most famous Irish players that we've ever known, including the late great Anthony Foley and Jerry Flannery, who was working with Munster this year, and the coach's brother, actually, John the Bull Hayes, who's Tom Hayes, the coach's brother. So lots of famous guys that have played for this storied club.
And just tons of history behind them. You know that when they play, they're playing with the pride of all those past players on them.
Absolutely, and when you see old boys like McGalway looking on the sidelines, you know you have big shoes to fill.
So a point of contention here is so far, Old Glory has only won 20% of their scrums and lineouts as we're about to get set for another scrum. That's the percentage. That's lower than you want if you want to try and win a match. To put it lightly,
you're not going to win a match with that percentage because it means that you're not going to have the ball. So that we're going to have to see if we're going to be in any way competitive in the second half. That has to change and change drastically.
So let's see if this scrum right here can help us push up that percentage. It's like a good base here. Josh Brown's going to get weak. He sees fresh meat. And he says, get off me. Michael Reed there with a quick take. And he ends up getting some ground. The scrum half fighting forward, showing he is not to be trifled with either. Now we'll set up with some pick. Oh, no, we're going wide. Zach Foro with the crash ball. Just brought down. And a clean turnover by Shannon at the breakdown.
Excellent snipe.
Zach was a little isolated there. Didn't have the support he needed, and unfortunately, we have a penalty going Shannon's way. So we had the positive of that scrum, winning that scrum, Josh Brown's run, bumping the wing, getting brought down, and then it was just that one lone runner with no support, and it leads to this penalty.
Again, we're talking about the interlink play earlier, and it goes right back to that. So we outrun our own support. And you can't do that on the, when you're so close to the opposition's try line. There's always going to be a good quality sniper that's going to work that ruck area, and they got turned over quite easily, to be honest.
Luckily, the kick left something to be desired. They're still in their own 22, which actually might end up being lucky if they're going for a clearance kick.
Might not be terrible for them if they get clean ball here.
And I do believe we have our first substitute on the field.
Front row.
Vakalahi is exiting, and number 17 is on the field. As the ball spits out,
Josh Brown on
Old
it.
Glory's side. Yeah, Josh Brown first on the ball. The Flying Hawaiian takes it up. Beautiful interplay right there. But it might have just gone forward from the Hawaiian.
No, I think we've got a scrum to Old Glory here.
Some more handbags.
That's a little silly.
Tyler Barbary, I believe, saying he's not afraid. Professional rugby has finally come to the district, and Lidos is a proud supporter of Old Glory DC. At Lidos, we use IT, engineering, and science to make the world safer, healthier, and more efficient, so we can all enjoy the game we love. Choose Lidos, and let's solve something important. Now let's go, Old Glory. Thank you, Lidos.
Here's a big putt in. We got it. Oh.
Michael Reed just could not get his hands on it, and it has been wheeled, but the ball was under Old Glory's feet, so it remained in their possession. You saw Michael Reed trying to dig it out. He just couldn't get it in
A little
time.
bit of gamesmanship by the Shannon 9 there, pulling him back without the ball. It's possible you could have got a little penalty there by the referee, but I guess he didn't see it because he was on the other side, which again is great scrum half play.
Which originally I thought the whistle was going to be a penalty for that play off the ball. As we think we have a Shannon man.
It looks like he's taking a bit of a knock.
Field. Yeah, doesn't look super stable.
A little groggy. He looks like the second row or back row player.
Could be the beer. Who knows? As we'll have a reset scrum to Old Glory. Now again, the last scrum, very solid. They had clean ball out. Let's see if they can replicate that this time.
Listen, I want you to clear left, so stay where you are.
And again, we've got Zach slotting in at that inside position. I believe Selby has exited the field as well.
Looks like it.
So I wonder if that shoulder really was giving him some trouble. So
Yeah.
Zach has moved in to that 12 spot, that inside center spot.
Just relax. Everybody relax. That's good. Crouch.
We're back with the forward back arm wrestling match that is scrummaging.
Set.
I think that might be John Sage that's on in the midfield area at number 23, playing outside center now. Zach has moved into the inside slot.
And it's a fight for the ball. Old Glory maintains it right on that goal line, able to stay in. Michael Reed marshalling his forwards. Finally out. Oh, the switch did not work according to plan, but the ball still ended up in Old Glory's hands, but it did go forward in that pass. It was a little too good to be true. And we've got more handbags. Wonder if the referee, Derek Summers, is going to pull this aside and say no more warnings. Getting a little bit more chippy.
It's all getting a little silly here.
Hey. Just let him go.
Let him go.
Just let go.
Step back. He hit me. We're trying to speed the game up. They're doing everything they can to slow it down.
You can't quick scrum, all right?
Yes, sir.
Just settle down. Wait, I'm saying there's a scrum, so we can't go quick.
White 6.
Fair enough explanation by
Yes.
the referee.
So yes, Derek Summers is the referee. He's one of the more well-known referees in the U.S.
For sure.
He's done multiple MLR matches, college national championships, and as such. He's very experienced. His word is gold.
Very well respected as
Yes.
well, I might add.
Just give me number 6.
So number 6.
Yeah.
So he said
Play the whistle.
possibly the next time he
Play the
talks,
whistle and stop.
will there be cards?
Anything after that, just relax.
Yes, sir.
Calm down.
Yes, sir.
We'll get control. Yeah?
Yes, sir.
We're going to have a scrum here
Yes, sir.
for a knock-on.
To us.
All right? Yeah. No.
Yes, sir.
No, it's your scrum.
Sir.
They knocked it on. It's your scrum. Yeah.
They knocked it on. We
No,
picked
no.
it up, and that's why
No.
we ran.
Here we go.
Josh Brown
Time on.
trying to confuse the referee on who knocked on who. Who's on first?
It's the role of the captain.
Hey, if you can talk circles around him, you might as well go ahead and try.
I think Mr. Summers has seen and heard all of that before.
But again, Derek Summers maintaining control of the match, not letting things get out of hand, which is what a great match referee does. He lets things stay in his control. So hopefully, we don't see any more handbags.
Yeah, and even if you do, he's got it under control.
Yes.
There's nothing has happened here today that's been egregious. It's just been a
Not
little
at
bit of, rough and tumble, and that's to be expected at a high-level rugby match.
Old Glory not getting pushed back in the scrum.
They got the drive on
Finally,
now.
the drive is on.
Play it.
So guess what Old Glory will be working on in training this week?
Lots of scrummaging.
You're in front. He's in
Yeah,
front.
that's offside.
Yes, offside
Yeah,
there on the kick.
but back for the penalty.
Yeah, we're sunbound.
Yeah, the backs, I guess, could take the rest of the week off and just let the forwards.
The forwards might say that's what backs do during the week anyway.
Well, that is what the backs do during the week anyway.
Hey,
Run pretty lines.
just got to comb your hair. Favorite part of the game.
No, I didn't catch it. I didn't catch it.
Again, very, very good fundamentals. Nice little clearing kick. Set up their platform again. Back to the line out.
White 4.
All right, Shannon getting some good attacking position as we have McElwee exiting the field in the number 4 jersey, as does Fred
Wintermantle.
Wintermantle. We've got more substitutes coming on.
Move tackler.
So as you can tell, and we keep on talking about, this atmosphere is completely ridiculous. It's insane. And there are family-friendly atmosphere here and affordable tickets at oldglorydc.com. You're not going to want to miss this matchup next weekend against the Scotland U20s over Memorial Day weekend.
That is going to be a great fixture.
Yeah, it'll be amazing. As we mentioned, we have a beer garden, we have a kids area with games, we have a tailgating spot where you can drive up with your car, bring your own food, bring your own drink. Just head over to oldglorydc.com and pick up your tickets for next week's match.
And it's Memorial.
And it's Memorial, yes.
Yeah.
So it's your civic duty as an American to cheer this squad on.
Come in your red, white, and blue.
Yes.
Here we go.
You'll be joined by literally thousands of other people.
Literally thousands, yes.
Fine.
As we get Michael Reed, another put in.
Set.
Let's see if these front row substitutes can show their impact.
Advantage.
Clean ball out. Finally advantage to Old Glory off of a scrum. And we'll bring that back up.
Tight head. Driving across.
Tight head was driving across is the call.
Literally just knocked the ball. When we were trying to play it, he's fucking laughing about it.
It's over here.
We're trying to play quick and they won't let us.
Shannon not happy with something. Some of their players slow to get back.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
You don't speak to me like that. I don't talk to you like that. Just relax. Yeah? Be controlled.
Again, Derek showing why rugby referees are the ultimate generals. You don't see that in too many other sports.
Absolutely not.
Grown men listening to a referee in this setting. It's kind of a shame how other sports can't take a cue from rugby.
But you see the way he actually, he heard the talk back, but he said in a respectful manner back to the player, don't talk to me like that. That's brilliant refereeing, wouldn't you say?
It is.
You know,
it's
it
clean,
sets,
it's respectful,
it sets the boundaries.
Them. Yes.
We got a ball here.
Got 2 balls in play.
I think we only need the one.
Only need the one as O'Sheen O'Neill gets us started again.
Looks like we got Khalid Williams on there. Yeah.
And that front jumper just getting in front of Old Glory's pod. They've really been able to disrupt that, as we mentioned. Still probably hovering at that 20% scrum and line-out win percentage on their own.
And it's exactly the phase of play, though, that you would expect Old Glory to be losing in. Yes. I have to be honest, because it's the area that takes the most time to get correct.
And that ball went straight out.
Yeah.
More handbags. We got it right in front of us.
Guys, it's a little silly.
Yeah, it's a little silly. No one came to see that.
Maybe some people did.
Maybe some people.
Yeah.
Maybe some people did.
Good captaincy from Josh Brown, I'd have to say there.
Running in, saying, we have the ball, don't do anything stupid.
Don't do anything stupid. Exactly, There's no need for that.
Let's see what Derek Summers says. He's getting spoken to from the touch judge. I did not see what happened after that kick.
For 9 white for the late hit.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we're going to restart with that. We're not having any more of this.
Yes, sir.
I need you to get both your teams together.
Yes, sir.
And sort it out and relax.
Yes, sir.
It's an exhibition game.
Yes, sir.
Settle down. Do it right now.
Yes, sir.
Do it right now.
I see Guy Lopresti on there, hugging his brother, Dante. Those boys won't take a backward step.
So I believe we have
Josh,
a late
get him
hit
together.
call on Michael Reed.
Get them together and talk about it right now.
After the kick.
Yes, yes. Just wait. Just wait. Went out on the full, about over here.
So they will get the ball where the ball crossed out of bounds, and it will be Shannon's penalty.
So they're going to get the penalty further up because the ball was kicked before the late hit, so they get the advantage of the ball going forward.
Neither squad has scored in the second half, but both have had their opportunities.
But there's been much more parity.
Yes.
For sure. Not just on the scoreboard, obviously, but within the game itself. I think the Old Glory boys have figured a few things out here and there. The Shannon guys are pretty comfortable in their lead, and they're just, everybody's working hard still, and we'll see what the next few minutes have in store. Shannon have a good platform here, attacking ball inside the Old Glory 22, so they'll be looking to put on a strike move here, I'd say.
And I believe Mo Katz just came on for O'Sheen O'Neill. Mo Cat's a player I got to commentate on while he was in college. A fantastic local product, extremely physical in all facets of the game.
Absolutely. Mo has just come back from injury.
And he's right there in the tackle.
Yes, he is. So Mo did an ACL injury just over a year ago, so he's back fully fit again, which is great to see.
And it's that fully fit Mo Cat's that led to that turnover on that tackle. I wonder if that ball was tipped.
It certainly sounded like it.
A nice kick for Old Glory. Can't quite recover, Ryan Burrows. So have a scrum.
Oh.
That is unfortunate.
The little things, right?
Yes. But again, they show that they're not going to be intimidated, by Shannon's maul in creating that turnover.
So I think Mo Cat's is a little bit bigger than Oshin. So we'll see if that extra little bit of weight on the front row is going to make some difference.
Stop messing around. Then you'll be able to drive straight. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, here. Straight, please. Down on me.
Here we go. Crouch.
Down.
Bind.
Just taking a look at the Shannon back line. Having plenty of those back three players inserting.
Just reset. Just hold the mark.
Not paying too much attention to this weak side.
Yeah, I'd be careful with this winger lurking behind the 10. There could be some kind of little loop happening right there. Maybe a preordained backline move.
You stay there.
We haven't gotten too many set backline moves.
Not too many.
From
I would have
squad,
expected a couple more, to be honest. Maybe we'll see one here. But again, Shannon will be having such dominance in the scrums that, why would they bother?
Yeah, it's true. The more intricate pass you attempt, the more often there's a better chance it can go to ground.
Yeah. Just do the little things well.
Let's use it.
Shannon told to use it. Nice flat pass. Or it went forward. I think it went forward on the drop.
Yeah.
I thought the pass was fine.
Yep, absolutely. He just couldn't take it in.
So as you mentioned, you having dominance in the scrums, why go for a potentially dangerous set piece like that?
Indeed, it was a good move. The 12 hitting the line at an angle there. We could see the 11 looping around. He would have been possibly he would be there to ruck if that went to a tackle area or be in support for the pass, if not. So a nice little variation there. Good to see. Hopefully we'll see a few more going forward.
And again, we have Tony Gerard Cusack down in the front row, getting some attention to his ankle.
He's put on some shift. He has played really well.
Again, you can get tickets at oldglorydc.com for next weekend's Memorial Day matchup against the Scotland U20 team. That Scotland U20 team will be going to the Junior World Championships. That's the highest level. This is one of the best U20 teams in the world. And as we mentioned at halftime, some of those players are going to be very close to playing on the Scottish national team. You're not going to want to miss that matchup. You're not going to want to miss this atmosphere. So go to oldglorydc.com and get you and your family and your friends tickets. We have everything you want here. Beer garden, tailgate area, kids area, affordable pricing, family friendly. I mean, how much better can it get? I didn't even mention the rugby game itself. I mean, that's going to be a fantastic match.
It's almost secondary, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean, it's crazy to even think that we've been looking forward to this game for so long, but the atmosphere is just killer here today. I can't believe it.
I mean, and the crowd, as hot as it is out here, the crowd has been here almost all day for those two curtain raiser matches. Tailgating, just loving everything out here, and especially this facility at Catholic University. This Cardinal Stadium has been
the tailgate was packed at noon.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I mean, you can drive your car up, park it, bring your own food. We didn't get that lucky. We had to sit here and and work, which is good.
We don't mind.
It. Yeah,
no,
we don't mind.
We get a front row seat.
I get to call a professional rugby game in America.
That's pretty cool.
Which 5 years ago, no one would have thought that could happen. Which just goes to show you, entering their third season, expanding to 3 cities. We've got New England, which Boston, but we're calling them New England,
Absolutely.
the Free Jacks. Then you've got Old Glory here in DC, and then we're having an Atlanta team join Season 3 as well. So 3 new teams, bringing it to 12. Finally going to a conference system. It's just really exciting times in rugby across America.
Couldn't agree more.
And it's a beautiful scrum here by Old Glory.
Oh, Josh Brown again. Josh Brown is having a day.
He is not getting brought down on the first tackle at any point today. As we finally have a breakdown on the outside.
Keena's away under the posts.
Try time, flying Hawaiian.
So I think that was Sage to
Malafu.
Keena.
That was it was a beautiful offload from Sage to Keena there. Old Glory finally, no team has really found the edge on a set piece like that. Old Glory getting the better of them, drawing first blood in the second half here, 13-26. That is what Old Glory could do to you in a split second.
Absolutely, and it was all because Josh Brown got that little bit of momentum off the back of the scrum. They were able to maintain possession, and then they had beautiful hands. Look at John Sage right here. Ready, 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 and away. That ball is deadly accurate, and you're not stopping Keena from there.
Yeah, getting it back to Josh Brown, breaking that first tackle. He's still, he only gained 2 to 3 more feet, but breaking that first tackle drew in more defenders.
And it makes the Shannon defensive line take a step or two backwards. And that is all that's needed at this level to create the space out wide, that they got the ball there, and you just saw the results.
Yeah, and that stage pass, holding on to the last second to the defender, had no other option but to stick on him. That was beautiful rugby. And I believe, due to the weather, again, we're going to have our mandated water break. We have to have water every 20 minutes in the conditions like this. But you couldn't have asked for a better way to end that end this first part of the second half.
Correct. And, you can see now the Old Glory guys, they've put their first one to score here. They got a beautiful 7-pointer on the board. They're back in the game. We have a full quarter of the match or more to go. The score is 26-15 to Shannon. So they're 11 points down right now, 2 scores in it. This game is right still here to be won. So I can guarantee you that's what the coaching staff over there and the captains are going to be talking about in the huddle. And of course the Shannon guys are going to be saying something along the same lines. We can't allow these guys to score again, or we're going to be in terrible trouble.
This is what we've mentioned since the beginning. We're finally getting to the last stanza of this match when the heat is really going to take its toll. We've mentioned some of the Old Glory boys talking about it, just getting used to it, but this is what they're training in, Shannon is not used to this whatsoever, except for when they flew over here. I have a couple days preparation, but at home, it's not getting up into the upper 80s with this humidity.
No, never with the humidity, and very, very rarely with the heat index as well. So they're just getting into the summer months in Ireland, and, if it hits 70 there, it's head to the beach kind of a day.
Yes, get a tan.
You can see there's a lot of sunblock on those Shannon guys.
Okay, let's roll, fellas.
So again, before we get started with this last 20, you can go to oldglorydc.com and get your tickets for next week's match against the Scotland U20 here at Cardinal Stadium at Catholic University. Everything you could ever want in a weekend is going to be here over Memorial Day. It's going to be a fantastic atmosphere.
I think once the reviews are in from today, from the people that were here to their friends and families, those tickets will be sold out quickly.
Oh, yeah. So a deep kick by Shannon to start off, and then a return kick. I think that was by Cool.
It was.
Really pinning Shannon back. Got this fullback taking a contact. He probably wishes he had that one back. Saw sweat get rocked off of his head on that one.
That
was a rocky hit right there.
Hit.
And Old Glory really going for the turnover there, but just collapsing there in the scrum. And I believe that could have been a knock-on. If he wanted to, he could call that knock-on the quick tap.
Well,
but it was not on the mark.
Yet again, though, I mean, I know they're exuberant, but that's just over-exuberance there in the ruck. They're coming through, but they know they have to stay on their feet. The coach, when they watch the video back over during the week, the coaching staff are not going to be happy with the penalties at the ruck area.
Yes, there's the difference between making a nuisance and slowing their ball down and losing your feet and falling down. They had a legitimate shot at a turnover right there if they had just kept their feet.
But they have to know the whens, the whys, and the when not to, okay?
Yes.
And they've got everything else, but the not to part is a work in progress.
No contest.
Great
off
ball.
The top.
Oh!
And he knocks it on. Those we're talking about with the conditions. That ball is probably soaking wet.
Slick.
And you can see he was catching it right at about his knees, which on a regular day would be considered a perfect pass. But in today's conditions, you really need to put it in the breadbasket to keep it in there.
Very much so. It was also the winger that was giving that pass was slight variation there. It looked like they were pulling the 10 out. So if that had gone to ground, they would have probably set a ruck there, and then they would have had a fast ball with the 10 coming back around the outside, which would have spelt serious trouble for the Glory backline.
Crouch. Bind. Set. Steady.
Down.
Another solid scrum. Really solid scrums here in the second half. They've really locked it down, Old Glory has. Mo Katz getting his first look on offense. Falling forward. Quick recycle by Reed.
I think Mo Katz has made a difference.
Oh, yes, absolutely. His energy coming on has really electrified the squad. But again, that pass just a little bit behind the man and going to ground.
Yeah, ball's at the back, so we played away. Fair enough. Fair enough. You better keep your elbow up. Yeah.
I'd be interested to see if Old Glory is going to put some pressure on the Shannon scrum. They've had a more stable base on their own put in. Maybe just try and catch them off guard.
Bind.
Again, a more classic backline look here for the Shannon guys. Let's see if they decide to use it. Excellent scrum there.
Really just a little bit. Great defense coming up there by Old Glory.
Leave.
Ooh, a little bit of face-to-face contact. Both players getting up quickly after that one.
Yet again.
Another penalty.
You got to roll away. You can't dive in.
Keep your feet.
Getting some new blood on the field, possibly a little antsy. Just wanted to get into some contact.
Yeah.
Again, though, these are the unforced errors that are criminal in my mind. You know, these are the things that I'll see for next week that they will absolutely have to clean up. If they don't, you know, it's going to be a very, very long day for those guys. But, you know, those are all very, very coachable things with a little video study, a little bit more analysis, and, you know, they'll have the butterflies away, you know. And so we have to work out a little bit here how they're going to develop themselves going forward as each as individuals and as a team.
So a similar play that they tried the last line out, this one finally going to hand, getting that nice crash ball up there with the center. They look to attack that far side. Nice pop pass back in. Another recycle by Patrick Hare. Nice contact there by Old Glory.
Leave it wide, leave! He's good. No. Ball's up, both of you.
Josh Brown with the ball again.
Possibly turned into a maul.
Let go, both of you.
No. Ball stays on Shannon's side.
Go back.
Lots of pressure there at the breakdown.
Good.
And the ball has
went backwards.
Had to have. Yep, I guess it did go backwards by the. Got some space here on the weak side now.
Yes, the blind side flanker taking it up.
See if Old Glory can get set quickly. A solo runner. Put some pressure on him. Got a recycle by Hare. And a searching kick to the wing. No one's back there. Favorable high bounce. Who can jump the highest? And it rolls out of bounds.
Very well placed kick again.
It's on blue. Off blue. Yeah.
Oh, you said it went off a blue.
Off blue last.
Old Glory getting lucky on that one. I didn't see who was contesting it, but no player really wanted to catch it right there.
How many? Full.
Mo Katz with the throw. See if he can hit his jumper.
He's in. It's full.
Shannon's done a fantastic job of getting their pod directly in front of Old Glory's every single time.
Uh-oh.
This one, just a bit of a miscue. Will this be Shannon's first try of the second half?
22.
And it will not be. I wonder.
So he ran to the end goal.
Oh, I guess he ran into the end goal. He ran out of bounds.
You don't see that every day.
Yeah, you don't see that every day.
Back up.
Now we finally have the wind behind Old Glory's back. Let's see if they can use this.
I guess the Shannon guys aren't used to playing on an American football field.
Yeah, that's true. That's not exactly what you want to happen. Blocked 22 dropout. However, they maintain the possession. Nice little pop by Josh Brown. Mo Katz there collecting a nice pop. And he's not brought down. He's not held.
Great run.
This is what Old Glory needs.
Sean Hartig is on at scrum half for Old Glory.
A nice little breakthrough right there.
There he is. Beautiful passes.
Going quickly now.
And that's John Davis.
Straightening up his run. Attacking the weak side still here. He's down. Must be released.
Good.
This is some great phase play that we're getting from Old Glory. They just need that spark. And it was that initial run.
Lovely pass.
Ryan Burrows cutting back inside, getting the stiff arm on there. Looking for the offload, finding it.
John Sage.
Hopefully his supports can get with him. Quick recycle. Brought down around midfield. Let's see if we'll go wide here. Ball shoots out.
Play on.
Went backwards, play on.
Oh,
cool. Trying to find some space, finally brought down. Ball stays with Old Glory, but it's brought down. Offsides.
Never onside.
And he's holding on to the ball on the ground. That's a bit ridiculous. Yeah, and the ref agrees. Derek Summers says
he's had enough of it.
You can get out of bed now. You're late for school. Get back.
Listen to the fans.
Yeah, they're still here. They're not giving up. Neither is this Old Glory side. Score remains 26-15. Old Glory, the only team to score here in the second half. And they have the momentum right now. The line-out has been a point of contention for the squad. Now let's see what they do on this one, if they like to go for a safe throw. Although with this Shannon line-out, there really is no safe throw. Their lifters and jumpers have been pretty spot on.
Old Glory ball, though. Tyler Barbary.
Not how they wanted it, but they got it. And they could not hang on to it on the ground.
We're passing when they should be holding on to it a little bit and holding on to it when they should be passing it.
Time off.
Time off. The Shannon player is down. Yeah, I mean, interesting right there. It was...
Time off.
Wouldn't say it was completely wrong to go for the offload. Maybe
It's
mostly
not.
wong. I was saying right there, you should probably just be safe.
Calm down.
You know,
I
gotta
think
count your blessings
when
right
you're
there.
5 meters out, I think that safety at that first phase is the most important. Maintain possession, set your ruck, and then play off it. We just got a little bit, disorganized there and a little bit frantic. Again, they're all things that's going to come.
Yeah, sometimes it's not the one-handed offload and contact that means you're a pro rugby player. Sometimes it's the just taking it into contact and going to ground.
It's the decision making.
And speaking of decision making, it would be a fantastic decision if you were to head over to oldglorydc.com and get your tickets for next week's Memorial Day matchup against Scotland U20s, and also view the schedule, because they've got a fantastic exhibition schedule lined up over the next coming weeks. That everyone's looking forward to, the players, the fans here. And Roland, as you mentioned, once word gets out and the reviews get out, it's packed here right now. So there's not really much room for more people. So once word gets out, you're really going to want to get a ticket before this becomes a sellout crowd.
This is maybe the best atmosphere I've ever seen in the United States. And I've been to club championships of all different levels, and this is phenomenal.
This really reminds me of what the Seattle Seawolves in Major League Rugby have going on. They've got sold-out season tickets for the next 2 seasons, and it's a similar sized facility. Still a large crowd, and I think Old Glory can really be sort of the Seattle of the East Coast as far as facility and atmosphere, because that's one of the loudest places to play in the U.S. as far as professional rugby is concerned.
And rugby players love an event.
Oh yes.
Like and this is going to be the biggest event in the city, in the area.
Crouch. Fine. Set. Let's use it. Let's use it.
Old Glory putting the pressure on. Nice cutback run there by Shannon. But Old Glory, nice defense to keep him in line.
Leave it. Leave.
Shannon's still under pressure here. This breakdown is becoming vicious. Shannon not getting any room. Going for the poach, not quite getting it. There is space on the outside. That player was not expecting it.
No attempt. No
attempt. I guess the ball was knocked down. I did not see.
Yeah, we were in a bad spot here
knockdown.
to see that very, very corner.
I thought it just hit the Shannon player's shoulder.
I think it was a knock.
Yeah, will that be an intentional knock? That might be a card.
There's a number of different infringements. They're not when you're under pressure, they're just in general. I attribute that to sloppy play.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we just need to see some discipline. We've got 10 minutes in the game to lose a player, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Sort it out. Yeah.
Again, great refereeing.
Yes, very, very clear. Not condescending, just saying,
no.
See the discipline, 10 minutes left, let's keep this thing going, let's keep it positive.
Yeah.
I mean, he called it sloppy play. It wasn't, wasn't meant to be, but it was an opportunity that was taken away from the Shannon players. So, referee Summers just again reiterating that he wants some discipline.
Yeah, get him on.
We've got some Shannon subs coming on the field.
Looks like we have a second row forward.
Yeah, let's go. You're out. No, you're out. You're out. You're out. You've already said it. You're out.
Trying to sneak one in the line out, Shannon is.
Naughty, naughty.
You're not that sneaky. Very clean take there. We haven't seen too much of this maul since the first, I want to say 20 minutes of the first half.
You're not moving. Let's go.
But Glory doing a great job of stopping them in their tracks. This very dangerous fullback. Got the dancing feet. Happy feet, if you will.
He's tiny, but he's got some moves.
Very shifty. If you're going to be that size, you got to have some nice feet. Nice contact there.
Leave, 12, leave!
Going for the poach. Derek Summers says leave it. Shannon trying to use the width.
Oh, he's isolated.
Just getting brought down. Still again attacking this short side. Ryan Burrows swallowing up the Shannon man. The prop having a great angle there, using the referee as a bit of a shield.
I think that was Connor Glenn up there, number 1.
And they've got a great turnover. Mo Katz initiated that contact and created the turnover.
With Sean Hartig in there. Here goes Nick Cool.
Nick
chip
Cool
through.
On the chip.
He's away. They've got
Ball
it.
is gathered up.
Dakota Worth.
Dakota Worth showing his worth. And he will dot it down under the post with a fantastic dive. This is a rugby match.
We got ourselves a game.
The score, 26-20. That conversion should be an easy one. This match should move to 26-22. This is amazing. I mean, this you couldn't have written that one up any better.
What a great
turnover
little chip through.
by impact sub Mo Katz, creating a turnover penalty, and then Ryan Burrows with a quick tap, gathered the ball, and he offloaded it to Dakota Worth.
Oh, Nick Cool.
Yes, Nick Cool. And then Dakota Worth just gathering up that, a forward running in support. Not ready to give up.
But he's been there all day. He's done a lot of cleanup duty all day. So
he's been on the field the entire time. Rate that dive for me. What do you think?
He's so solid. He's very tall, so he's just as effective as a jumper, but his athletic ability. I mean, he was at Army 7s. He was, so he has an engine. I'm quite happy that he's on our side. Let's just put it like that.
Yeah, one of those players that you're happy is in your jersey. This match now is 26-22. It was 26-5 at halftime. Old Glory is running away with the second half, down by 4 points. About 6 to 7, maybe 8 minutes left. You can tell momentum has definitely shifted, whether it's the weather bearing down on Shannon, the crowd firing up this Old Glory side, but this match is far from over.
I think it's all of the above.
All of the above. We'll take it all.
Old Glory's looking to take it all right now.
It's a kick close to the sideline, taken by Burrows. Stays inbounds.
Lovely step.
Yeah, makes the first man miss. Nice recycle, Mo Katz.
There's Mo again.
Falling forward.
Great clean out by Tyler Barbary.
Yeah, this is very quick recycling. Only made possible by those quick cleanouts in the ruck.
I think you're seeing the Glory subs bench really starting to take some. Oh, that cannot be.
Oh no, he's there. Got the call.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And we're gonna go quick again.
Yeah.
Are we saying no? It was not on the mark.
Sean Hartig with the ball.
But
Off your feet, then you
All
play.
Glory. Not
Sean
ready to
Hartig has
give up.
provided quite a spark since he came off as well. Different kind of player from
Yes.
Reed.
Oh, they're gonna quick tap it. Shannon, they were pretty far back on that far side. The flying Hawaiian. Kina, can he step it back inside, find his support? And he does. Old Glory catching Shannon sleeping on that one. Get another recycle here.
It's John Davis taking the ball up. Another one of those local guys.
Advantage, 10 offside.
We have we're playing advantage, Old Glory is, so let's see if they do something risky here, see if they can gain some ground knowing that they have the safe advantage.
2 onside either. It was 2 onside ever. Still got penalty.
Is that a break down the sideline by Sage, I believe?
Yes, it is.
You can definitely tell Old Glory looks like this is their first 10 minutes. They're full of energy. This crowd just willing them on. And we'll go back to the advantage. This is a better spot than the first time they had advantage. So
Go. Now you're good. Go.
2 separate offsides.
Yes.
Yeah, Shannon are starting to wear down. They're losing their discipline just a little bit. This heat is definitely starting to take it out of them. There's only 7 or 8 minutes left here. Let's see if Old Glory can push it through.
And Old Glory not wanting to go to the line out considering how their past couple have gone. But they need to get centered here. Need to get reset.
They're holding
get the
him
knee
up.
down.
They're holding him up. Keep driving him.
I thought his knee was down.
Yes.
Well, now he's held up. I thought his knee was down at first, but
it's driving.
Got to keep pushing.
Still moving.
I doubt they're going to get the ball
Still moving.
back.
Advantage, collapse.
And they've got another advantage on the collapse. Things could not be going any better for Old Glory. You got to wonder, this close, will you go for the line out and not the quick tap?
I would love to see that again. I'm not sure about that call. I would have always thought if it had come down that it would have been a turnover, a Shannon scrum. But clearly,
definitely a turnover too.
Clearly, referee Summers saw an infringement there, or he wouldn't have called it.
All right, Mo Katz, I think they've got advantage again, not back 10. So why go for the line out at all? Nice chip kick through.
Down for Burrows.
And we'll come back. So you got to wonder, yeah, you're going to have a talk. One more talking to, and we might have a card here. You can tell Shannon really not ready for this last 10, 15 minutes of play.
Absolutely not. They are literally holding on
Still going forward,
for dear life right now.
You collapsed it. Hold on. You collapsed it. I tried to give you enough time to get 10. If you choose not to get 10, that's your decision. If we have another infringement down here, you will lose the player.
Just
listen to what I'm telling you. If you have another
Derek's
infringement
not
down
having
here,
any
you
back
will lose
chat.
the player.
He's
Sort
losing
out your
patience.
discipline.
Yes.
You understand that?
It's time we were playing for them.
Have a word. Yes. Yes.
But you told us to use the ball up here in the exact same situation.
No. Maul was moving forward.
Yeah.
Please go 10. If
For the
you
first
choose to
time
not have a
ever,
word with your
I
team,
thought
that's
for the
your
first time
decision,
ever,
okay?
he would convince the referee to change his mind.
Scrum. Perfect.
But no.
Have you ever seen that
Players
happen?
are still 0 for a million on getting the referee to change his mind on a call.
Very true.
Not going to stop him from trying, though.
Yeah?
All right, so we're finally going to, they're calling for a scrum. Would you have guessed this after the first 10 minutes in the first half, that towards in the last 5 minutes, Old Glory would call for a scrum?
The coaching staff are going to be delighted.
Oh, yes.
I can tell you that much right now with the second half performance.
Crouch! Bind!
I think that that fullback out there out wides might get a nice shoulder from Josh Brown.
Reset.
Again, it all started because they were able to get the platform this half.
Just go on.
Sorted out that scrum, and everything else has been roses since then.
All right. Just go again.
The seconds are ticking away on this match. Maybe 4 minutes left. The sun is going down behind the trees. We are reaching the twilight hours of this beautiful Sunday afternoon. But the energy is as high as it's ever been. 4 points separate Shannon RFC and Old Glory DC. Josh Brown going weak side. Popping it off.
Burrows!
You got Ryan Burrows coming back inside, avoiding that sideline. And the ball just bounced forward. Oh, that guy flinched on that push. That's 2 punches. That guy should be embarrassed on Shannon. All right, another
I might flinch
scrum.
if Dakota Worth came running at me too.
So scrum down to Shannon. You got to think, regardless of how this second half ends up, Shannon might not be the team walking off with their heads held high. To not score a single point in the second half after running up 26, to let up 17 points unanswered, is not how they saw the second half going.
Absolutely not.
They lost their advantage of the scrum. And you could argue that Old Glory's lineout problems haven't been because of Shannon. We have this crowd getting behind the boys in white.
Set!
Let's see what happens with the scrum as we have the put in. Ball is out. Shannon electing to run with it. They're right at the 22.
They're going to try to maintain possession now to see the game out, I think.
Let's see, can they do this for what could be 4 minutes?
It's a big ask, especially with so many fatigued bodies around there.
You can see Old Glory is not contesting in the ruck. Outside of that up front tackle, they're content to put their men around the sides. Make sure that there are no gaps in this defense.
Back up.
We're going to get a box kick here
Use it.
or a forward pod.
Get a forward pod here to Cusack.
20 seconds.
20 seconds left in the match. The referee keeps the actual time on himself, on his watch. The time that we see here on the scoreboard on screen is not always correct. So 10 seconds left in this match. Gotta wonder if Old Glory should be contesting.
Oh,
and now
it went forward.
Are we gonna get a call from the touch judge? No, we are not. That might have been missed. That was the chance that they needed right there.
Oh, we need to see a replay of that
I
last
would love
ruck.
to see a replay of that because that looked like it went forward. Regardless, though, that was an amazingly hard-fought match by Old Glory to come back from 26-5 in the first half to lose 26-22.
They literally looked like a different team in the second half.
Completely different.
They got the nerves out. They started playing a little bit more cohesive. And gosh darn, they nearly got that last try to win the game. But, you know, it wasn't to be. Shannon, deserved winners, I'd say, based just on that first half performance. They were excellent.
Yeah.
And we can definitely say that the heat wore them down quite a bit in the second half. They never put a point on the board, but their own ability just to see out the game and their like little bit of gamesmanship, I think we'll call it. But fair play to them. They did what was needed to be done.
Yes, this match had a little bit of everything. We had some handbags. Didn't see any cards, which was great. It was a clean match throughout. A hard-fought match, almost comeback win for the home team. The future is looking very, very bright for Old Glory DC. Best of luck to Shannon. But we'll be back next week for Memorial Day matchup between Old Glory and the Scotland U20s. Again, head to oldglorydc.com to pick up your tickets. But I'm Preston Thompson, joined by
Roland Pratt.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much. See you next week.